What's up, family and friends? Welcome to the Woke Nation, our nation of factual truth, where we feel free to share knowledge and spread the knowledge of factual truth without fear, without favor, and without feint. Where we encourage you to live your life and enjoy your life, and the only best way to live your and enjoy your life is through knowledge of factual truth. Because knowledge is the greatest, and knowledge will teach you that mindset is everything. So you need to know, not to believe. You need to know, not to worship. You need to know, not to be stupid. You need to know. Anyone that tell you cannot know everything is lying to you. The truth is this: you can know everything you desire to know, anything you dare to know, anything you want to know, anything you need to know. It is in your hand. Don't let anyone, enslave you, limit you. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. When you have your own mind, you have to follow the law of your own mind. Make your own judgment, make your own investigation, make your own research, and follow only the truth that is based on facts, not truth that is based on books, not truth that is based on people's opinions. No matter what you say, nobody will argue with you about the existence of the sun. Nobody. Except religious people, because they believe their God created the sun. So they don't care about the sun, they care about their God. And that's why the sun, they are not even ready to learn about the sun. All they know is about their God, about their faith, about their belief, about their religion. And that's it. And that's why, you see many people easily believe whatever they hear. Somebody like them came one day and told them there is a spirit. And that spirit, they cannot see that spirit. They believe. Okay, there's a spirit. Oh, that's why you have dream. You have a revelation. You have there's a spirit revealing it to you. But that spirit that has power to reveal that to you don't have power to show up. I want to tell you the truth. No, maybe you have been hearing it, ignoring it, or no one has told you that. But let me say it again. Spirit is not invisible. Spirit is not invisible. Spirit is not imaginary. Spirit is real. Spirit is person. Another word for spirit is person. Another word for spirit is energy. Another word for spirit is eternal. Another word for spirit is being. Another word for spirit is nature. It's not any deity. A deity is a human being gone wrong. Something must be wrong with your head before you believe there is a deity. Before you believe there is a deity or a God over your life, something must be wrong. When God is not even a deity, in the original English word, it simply means something or someone that creates. That's what God means. God does not mean deity. That's why before white men came to Africa, even our ancestors who believed in spirituality never said that creator was God. No. They call it their own names. Like Igbo people call it Chineke or Chi-Uku. And Chi-Uku is the male one, and the Chineke is the female one. Many of us don't know that. But even some Roman Catholic church people will tell you, because Their priests know some of these things because they know that's how they copied from African spirituality to create their religion, Catholicism and Christianity, all of them Islam. They copied from us. But they tell you about spirit and telling you it's invisible so that you don't question their nonsense, their bullshit. Because what they're talking is bullshit. Anyone that is talking about God, telling you there is God that is almighty, God that has created everything, but this God, you cannot see this God. Somebody that tell you that there is a God that created you, but you cannot see this God, is supposed to understand that people created that God. It is religion that created God. God did not exist before religion. It was false religion. That's people beginning to live in, to personalize their ignorance and their fear. And they begin to say there is God. God made this, God made that. And they have different versions of it. Then they say that this God is incorporeal. This God is a mystery. This God is secret. This God is hidden. You cannot see this God, but this God speaks. You can hear this God. But the truth is this: if they say that to you, the same people, for example, when you read, I think 1 John chapter 4, he said to them, he said, test every spirit to know if they are of God. You see what they said? They did not say test every spirit and stuff, but they're telling you to know if they are the one from their own God. Even their book will tell you there is no one God, there are other gods, but their own God is jealous one. So any other spirit, talking in other words, spirit from any other gods, you have to tell them if it's not according to what our God said, what is written about our God. He said, then you know it is the spirit of what? Antichrist. Remember, I did not say test if every spirit is from Christ. Hear the confusion, how they confuse themselves, and that's why people that believe in that religion, they are confused. Every Christian is a confused person. Every Muslim is a confused person. Now, if you have to test every spirit to know if it's of God, right? God did not send only Jesus. God, according to the Bible, God also sent angel Michael, angel Gabriel. God did not say he will only send only Jesus or only his son. And God have sons. But they tell you to test every spirit to know if they are of God. He said, if they are not like as so, he said, that's the spirit of Antichrist. And you see people testing the spirit of Antichrist according to what is written in their own book called Bible. Then you see Muslims also testing the spirit of Allah according to what is written in their own Quran. And that's why you see they have different beliefs, different teachings, different doctrines. Although they claim to have one God. Christians believe to have one God, but they have different doctrines, different perspectives, different teaching, different beliefs about this one God. And this God is watching them because it's confusion. Then Muslim, the same thing, they have these different sects. They don't have only one Muslim way. No, they have different ways. This man came up with these ideas because all those things, the origin of God is the mind of man. It is men coming up. If you bring 10 Christians who are said to be born again Christians, put them in separate rooms, tell them to tell you about their God, they will give you different meaning, different version of that God. Because that God does not exist. It only exists in their mind, in their head, and in their book. So whatever they garbage in there is what they will garbage out. So the data they have in is what they will bring. And who put that data there? Themselves, by going to the sit down, somebody telling them, you have to have deep relationship with God, to know God, to see God. Do you need any type of relationship to see your parents? No, because they are real. You don't need to go to any school. You don't need to meditate to know your parents. You don't need that because they are real. But the reason why they tell you need revelations, you need visions, you need dreams, you need meditation, you need quiet time, you need certain things for you to know God. Not even to see God. And they claim that if you believe what the book says about God, that means you know God. It's not true. You don't know a person or a spirit that exists by reading whatever or hearing about them. You have to see them in person. If you don't see them in person, you can never say to know them and make sense to anyone that is reasonable. You have to be stupid to say that, and it's only stupid people that will believe you. So you have to test every spirit, and this is the only way you can test, the same way your teachers tested you in the school. They wrote the questions and gave it to you. You sit down and answer the questions. No spirit that they worship can answer your question. You are the one that will bring the question, and you are the one that will supply the answer again. Quiz students we pass in any exam by setting up their own question and answer their own question and say this is it. No. It is that the teacher give you a question, you don't return it in spirit, you don't return it spiritually. The same way they give you that paper, you fill it in and bring back the paper. That's how it is. Whether you copy from someone else or not, if they don't catch you, copying from someone else and you succeeded, all they go with is what is written in that paper. So, if God has a spirit, God is supposed to know all things. Then, and this spirit, they tell you to test every spirit. Test the spirit. Test every spirit. Then you have to hear from that spirit directly. You didn't ask the spirit with your spiritual mouth. So why are you hearing him from the spiritual ears? You ask the question with your mouth. So you're supposed to hear it with your ears. You are talking to yourself. You are not talking to any spirit of God anywhere. There's no spirit of God that can communicate with you or to you. There's no spirit of God that can answer your question. That's why you see Christians living in ignorance, or believers, theists, people that believe there is God that know all things, yet they don't know nothing. How can your father know all things and you are ignorant? How can your father know all things and you are going to school? How can your father know all things and you are living like someone that has no father? Or that has stupid father? You telling me my father know all things? I have to go and pay to learn? I have to go for somebody to teach me? No! My father has all things. Man, I have to be enjoying all things. But you see how they deceive you and you believe they are nonsense, spiritualizing things. Natural things, you are spiritualizing it. Whether you call it native doctor or priest or pastors, all those things are nonsense. How can you tell me what you are doing is a spiritual work, but you are using cell phone? Is cell phone spiritual thing? The same thing you're operating there in your native way or saying is a spiritual thing because you perform some rituals, is the same way people made cell phone you are using. If your God is real, if your spirit, the spirit you say you worship, the spirit is okay, Josie, if they are real, you don't need to use cell phone to communicate with anyone. That spirit will be doing the communication for you. Is it not even written? He said that when the spirit comes, he will teach you all things. He will bring to remembrance all things. He said, we will teach you things to come. How can you say that your spirit is from God that know all things, yet you don't know nothing except what you learn from your fellow human being, except what you learn from the nature? Can't you see that everything is natural? What you call spiritual is natural. What you call religious is natural. That's why you are the one operating it. Without you, no God can speak. Without you, no God can do anything. You have to wake up and trust everything God. That's why you are the one upset at somebody like me telling you there is no God, because you are the God that say there is God. God is not a deity. God is not to be worshipped. This thing is God. Hand sanitizer. It can sanitize your hand. It contains what you can use. That's God. How many of you are worshiping it? But in religion, they force you, it was not your choice. They force you to accept there is God that can make you clean, but you cannot see this God, you cannot use this God. And you believe them. And you want reasonable people like us to accept that. You see how our people are wallowing in ignorance, suffering, and you want all of us to join. You think it's a movement. We have to continue. No, my people, wake up. I hear some people complaining, saying 85% of people living among 85% of people that believe in God or believe in all this religion, is distressing. It's not any distressing. You don't know what you are saying too. You don't know, just like them. Because many of you think when we say wake up, we're talking about another form of religion, another form of movement, another form of association where you come for arms. Help me, help brother, help. That's bullshit. Part of waking up is you not depending on anyone, no matter who that person is. It's you living your life. All you have to do is to share knowledge. Then, when majority of us wake up, we do those things. You think you have to do. No, not now. We have resources to help one another. Not somebody else laboring. He wanted to give it to you. Does they have 2 hairs? Oh, you have to help one another. That's bullshit. That's the same thing religion made us. They made us poor and tell us all the poor help one another, so that God will bless you or so that we will be blessed. No. If you need something, go to your parents. If your parents don't provide for you, hold them responsible. They have to. And those of you that are not married yet, you are about to marry and you'll be producing children that you cannot take care of. Fuck all of you. You are part of the problem in this world. I rather die than to depend on anyone. Let death take me today than me depending on anyone, saying life is beautiful, life is, with the knowledge I have, I rather relocate back to my village. Come on. Than to accept their bullshit. For what? Test every spirit. Spirit is visible, it's not invisible. Ask them question. If they cannot give you, you ask them question audibly. You have to get the answer audibly. Don't take no for an answer. Don't take maybe. Don't take one tell you we know. No, let them be specific. And they say that spirit is from God. That message is from God. Be specific. Which date will it come to pass? Tell me. Where is your God? See the evil, see the suffering going on all over the world. Your God is doing nothing. All they tell you, don't worry. One day God will do this. God will judge the wicked. Which God? We are the ones that will judge the wicked. We are the ones that will stand our ground. Let us die. It's not bad thing. Death is good thing. I wish you death. Wish me death. The same way I wish you life. Wish me life. It is the same thing. Life and death. Death and death are the same thing. They brings you to new beginning, new experience in life. It's experience. Your body is your experience. Everything. That's why when you die and come back, you forget whatever experience you have now because you continue living. It's part of the earth. You are earthly. You can never be heavenly. You can never be spiritual. You are earthly, and you have to live it wisely. God then.